Centripetal force is the force which pulls an object towards the center of a uniform curve. This force accelerates the object, changing its direction, but not its speed.
This is going to be painful.
Yes. It always is.
Are you really lifting off the side?
Get out of the shot. Eventually. Just tell if you are, because I can't.
Move closer to the center, Brian.
What?
Move closer to the center.
Okay. Oh God, I'm getting squished. Like I can't see anything. And we're done.
When light strikes a reflective surface, the angle of incidence equals the angle of reflection. Here, Mr. Pape's glasses function as a convex mirror which scatters incident light rays, making them appear to originate from a virtual image.
Reflection.
Whatever.
The force of friction opposes motion and is equivalent to the normal force times the coefficient of friction. Since Drillcat is not very massive and has a very low coefficient of friction with the floor, he can be easily slid along the ground. Notice, however, that Brian does not fare as well. As Doug and Brian bounce on the trampoline, they produce waves in the tarp. Normally, these waves simply rebound upward, launching the user into the air. However, when the waves of two bouncers overlap, they produce constructive interference, causing one person to fly much higher than normal. Some of the energy produced by bouncing is lost to the ground, but the rest is preserved in these waves and in the motion of the bouncers. When one person is bounced extra high by constructive waves, energy is conserved, and the other person will stay lower down, transferring their kinetic energy into the other person through the waves. When pulled back, this rubber band acts as a spring. The amount it stretches is proportional to the force applied, so twice the force will stretch it twice as far. When the band is released, the spring's potential energy is converted to kinetic energy, launching it forward at high speed.
Since F equals ma, equal force applied to a greater mass will produce less acceleration and vice versa. In this demonstration, an equivalent force applied by a rubber band will therefore launch the pencil much farther than the calculus textbook.
When Brian pushes Doug, the force he applies is matched by an equal force applied against him. Since Brian is less massive, he is accelerated more by this force, and appears to fly backwards. The momentum of an object equals its mass times its velocity. In a closed system, the sum of all the momentums will remain the same regardless of collisions. In this demonstration, when the more massive Doug collides with the less massive Brian, at the same velocity, the total momentum will be moving with Doug. As a result, the system tends to move in that direction after they collide.
According to Bernoulli's principle, faster flowing fluids will be at a lower pressure than the same fluid moving slower at an equal gauge pressure. When a frisbee is thrown, air flows over the top quickly, producing an area of low pressure above the frisbee. The lip creates a pocket of motionless air beneath the disc, creating an area of higher pressure which forces the frisbee up.
When the magnetic flux through a coil of wire changes, a current is induced which produces a magnetic field which compensates for the change in flux. When this flashlight is shaken, the magnet inside moves through the coil, generating an electric current which charges it.
Magnetic fields flow out of a north pole and into a south. When opposite poles of two magnets line up, they generate the force of attraction.
Alright guys, so moving on from that really pretty boring explanation of just how magnets work, we're going to provide you with a more practical application. Your standard kitchen refrigerator magnet, like this cute little chihuahua here, is really the best way for you to erase any spare CDs, DVDs, HD DVDs, Blu-ray discs, really anything you have lying around. It's round, shiny, and contains valuable digital information. Now, we obviously wouldn't perform this particular demonstration with any sort of CDs that contain real files. That could be very dangerous. For example, if this was something like, I don't know, Mr. Fedorov's tax returns from this past April.
Doug, what are you doing? Does that say AP Physics? Is that the other half of our movie?
Oh,
Perfect! 768.
Those are big though.
Yeah, okay.
Video compressor, no compression. Da-na-na-na-na, exit. Da-na-na-na-na.
Export.
Da-na-na-na-na. Output.
Where am I exporting it to?
Nowhere. I'm filming film that we have filmed.
Wow, it's called program files.
Da-na-na-na-na, getting the charger, eating the battery. Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, getting the charger. Where the heck is it? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, na-na-na-na. Where's the charger? Na-na-na-na-na, I found the tripod. Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, guitar solo. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, couldn't find the charger. Da-na-na-na-na, probably out front. Da-na-na-na-na, gonna get faster cause I'm running out of words. Da-na-na-na-na-na, na-na-na, I found a wasp and the door won't open. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, gonna zoom in and zoom out again cause that's what I meant to do in the first. Couldn't find the charger. Got stuff on the screen. Running out of breath. Couldn't find the charger.